conversation. So we have Shvat Shehibit to look from the perspective of wisdom. We have the letters Tov, Tov, which is good. Tet Bet, Tov. We have the word Shavit inside, Komet. And there's a special fish called Shibuta. Shibuta. Yes, Shibuta. It holds the letters of Shvat. Shibuta. Buta. Maybe you have eaten it, I'm not sure. Shibuta. This is the name, so to speak, in archaic Hebrew for it, but it has an English name as well. It's a very familiar fish. It grows, lives in sweet water. In this 11th month from spring, Moses was reading to the people of Israel the Torah and explaining them the Torah. I would like to share with you here a whiteboard. I'll try to see if it's working. I would like to share with you the verse and a painting. Please tell me if you can see the whiteboard in front of your eyes, and if you have questions, go ahead and ask. You see the whiteboard? I'm trying to make it in a way bigger. If you have something, you can unmute and speak, or you can write in the chat here. You can also unmute and read the verse. If Jill, you can see the letters, if it's how do you say, big enough and you can see the letters, can you read for us the English text if possible? Or Yanis, or anybody who has an access to a mic and can speak freely? Yes? Yes. 1 second. Yes, Jill?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Good morning. Happy to
Good
see you here.
morning. Happy to hear you and see everyone. Okay, I'm trying to I did have it where I could expand it, but now I can't see that I can expand it with my phone. I'm on my phone.
Yes, yes.
Let me see.
Sure.
Let me try one more place.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, I think it's too tiny for my eyes.
It's too tiny.
Yeah.
So maybe
Okay, wait. I think I got it figured out. I turned it
okay.
to the side. It says beyond the Jordan in the land of, does that say Moab?
Yes, indeed.
Took Moses upon him to expound this law, saying, was that
Yes.
correct? Okay.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
sorry, I
Thank you.
couldn't get it.
Thank
I
you.
couldn't get it.
The English, very good. Yes, I expound the Torah. The Hebrew verb is be'er, like a well. Yes? What we know or familiar with the word well as a source of water. Well in Hebrew is also a verb, not just a noun. It means to expound, to elaborate, to open this Torah, yes, for saying. So why why this verse is being read now? Because few verses before there is a counting of the days and of the months, and it says that this specifically chapter in Deuteronomy was happening in the 11th month, which is Shvat, this month, in the first day of Shvat. In this day, in this very day, Moses started expanding, explaining, yes, opening the Torah. So in this very day, the first of Shvat, the first of the 11th month, he starts to open to explain the Torah. Now I would like, if you can see it, please tell me if you can follow. I will try to, how to say, there is a painting here that I will try to share. Do you see this? Because it's the first time I'm doing this on this computer and I'm trying to, how do you say, to make it bigger for everyone. 1 second. Shall I do it? Yeah. Please tell me if you can see the painting. I'll try to move it here. No, this on the side. 1 second. No. I'll try to upload the painting here to our text mode. Try to upload it. I hope that I could. In a second. Do you manage to see, because I'm not quite, how do you say, familiar with this one. Do you manage to see the painting, or it is too little for you to see? There is a message in this painting. The title of the picture is A Woman Reading a Letter. Do you manage to see the painting or the details, or not that much? Fernando, Yanis, Abigail. Do you have any kind of access to the painting? It's the first time I'm trying this. Yes, do you have? Can you describe what you see in the painting? Jill?
Can you hear me?
I can.
Hello?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, I can. I can.
Okay. I see there's two women. Um, one is sitting on a chair. It looks like she's holding something in her hand. I can't quite tell what it is. There's a second woman who is standing with her toward a painting that it's partly covered by some fabric. She has her, it looks like she has a hand on a bucket.
Yes.
And there's a little puppy in the picture that's looking up toward the woman who was looking at the painting. One is sitting on a platform. The one who's standing is standing down beside the platform. There's one shoe on the floor, and there
What?
looks like
Yes,
one
yes.
shoe, and looks like the woman who's sitting down has maybe a mirror, or looks like a mirror behind her.
And what do you think about the shoe? To whom does it belong? Might this shoe belong? It's just a single shoe. To whom
Looks like it
it
would
might.
belong
Mhm.
to the woman who's sitting on the chair. Maybe it fell off of her foot. It looks like her dress is partly coming over the platform a little bit.
Mhm. Does she look? Does she look to you concentrate in something? Do you see her concentrate in
Yeah, yeah.
something? I try to
She's
make the. Yes.
she's focused on what it is that she's holding in her hand. She has her hand, one of her hands is resting on a pillow, and she has the fabric that's draped over her, looks like her right side. Maybe she's sewing, or maybe she's doing something with the fabric.
Yes, I will try to look with you, try to make it bigger. Look at her forehead. I'll try to make it to focus. Do you see something specifically? If anybody can see something quite interesting in her forehead, please. Do you see something special, or it's
Looks like
not?
looks like something the shape of maybe like a drop or a teardrop, or
Yes, yes. This is quite interesting because in those times, one of the how do you say, beauty's ideal was to take away the frontal hair of ladies. Yes? Have you heard this before? You see that she has a relatively very high forehead. We don't see this in the painting. Oh, here I got it. Here, finally I got it. Do you see?
Yeah, she has like a design made with the hair that she has left that looks,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. So it was a, how do you say, part of the, let's say, this was the fashion to show that the ladies are intelligent and smart and from high, let's say, nobility. They used to tear, like people make their eyebrows, they used to deliberately take off the hair to show that they have a higher how do you say, forehead? And then they used to decorate it. And we can see that she, in a way, she has her hair decorated, but she also is wearing what? Do you see that she's wearing also earrings?
Mhm.
Yes. And
Yeah.
what does she hold in her hand? What?
It looks like she's holding a piece of the fabric, but I can't really tell. I
The
think it's the
title,
fabric.
yes, the title of the painting is A Woman Reading a Letter.
Okay. Okay.
So let's try to see what is the connection between reading a letter, yes, and so to speak, the shoe, yes, that is like in a way left on the floor. What is the connection between those two? This is just a question because when I saw this painting, I was intrigued in a way. What is going on here? She is very concentrated in reading a letter. Good morning, Rodrigo and Felipe. I hope you can see the painting. Happy months to all. She is concentrating in reading the letter. Usually shoes. What shoes are representing? In our world view, what do a pair of shoes are representing? Or stand, everybody can also participate. What do shoes, like in Moses' story in the burning bush, what does the shoe symbolize? Or what do they symbolize?
I would think that they symbolize just the walk, something that would protect the foot.
Yes,
Um,
yes. So, but how many shoes do we have in general? We walk with two, like with two legs. So we have 2 feet and we have 2 shoes. Now she left, there is a chance that she left one of her shoes here on the floor. So she, in a way, withdrew, we could say, it's not clear, that she withdrew, so to speak, from duality and she is concentrating in reading this letter. What is the angle of the letter? Where does she is, in a way, aiming? Why does she holds the paper? Yes, against what? In what angle does she hold the paper? Towards what? We could see that on her side there is a blue curtain. The blue curtain protects what? We cannot see. This is only the edge of the painting. But the blue curtain, in a way, hides the window. From the window comes a ray of light, which illuminates the letter. So she, in a way, holds the angle of the letter towards the light to read what is happening there. And she's so concentrated that she doesn't mind her shoes. Maybe she forgot her shoes. According to her dressing, what would you say about her style of dressing? How do you perceive the way she dresses in relation, in a way, to the lady that stands here on the right side of the picture? In a way, we have two opposite pictures, but in what way they are opposed to each other? Yes, so I see they're answering here in writing. Yes. Duality, yes, the shoes, Yanis. Rodrigo, diagonal in front of the window towards the sunlight, Yanis, yes. Searching light, yes. But now look at the two ladies as opposed, so to speak, to each other. So, yeah, the girl from the behind looks like a maid. Yes, yes, that's correct. She looks like a maid. Now, pay attention to few things, just to give us like indication. There's standing, sitting, face towards the painter, back towards the painter, and the colors of dressing, yes, and the different occupations, so to speak, of the two ladies at this moment when the painter is painting them. So can you just open, like Moses, expound the Torah? Yes, express, explain. Try to shine light of what he's trying to tell us, this painter. Artist, he's a Dutch. Who would like to open? Abigail, Fernando, Yanis, Rodrigo, Felipe. Who would like to unmute? Jill. Jill, what do you see? Can you just, let's say, give a survey, standing, sitting, colors of dressing, and the different activities. How do you perceive those two different activities?
One is the the person who looks like the maid is interested in the painting, so she's looking behind the curtain to see what she's gonna see in the painting. The other person is interested in reading the letter. It looks like she's rested. She doesn't have to go anywhere. The other woman is holding her bucket, so she may have to just kind of glance and leave.
It's interesting because the maid, you say that is probably the maid and she's holding a bucket. Yes, but her arm is how do you say, is sand. She's holding the bucket between her thigh and her arm, but between her fingers, she is holding something. Can you tell us what do you think or what you presume she's holding between her fingers? This is her left arm. Yes, and what do you think she's holding there? I'll try to make it bigger. Oops.
Looks like she also has a letter.
Okay, yeah, this is quite interesting. If she has also a letter or a written text, what is more important, or let's say in the moment of painting, what is occupying the maid and what is occupying, so to speak, the lady? They have different interests. So how would you define their different interests? She's standing, probably the maid, in the middle of her work. She has to do things at home, so she's standing with the back, leaning on her bucket. She's like half tired also. The arrows on the bucket maybe is like decorative element, and the painting she's looking at is like maybe a storm, and the painting is also covered with curtain. What is happening here? And why this is more appealing? We are like detectives. Yes, we are screenwriters. Why the painting behind the curtain is more interesting to the maid than the letter or the written text that she has between her fingers? It's on her because she holds the bucket like she's resting. Is not her main interest. Like her main interest is this painting, which is covered, and she is like taking a moment because her lady is occupied with something much interesting. So she has this moment to gaze, to look behind the, let's say, holies of holies. Why this painting is covered with a curtain or a veil? and why this painting is more interesting to her than the written text or the written letter that she also have between her fingers. So we see, in a way, two written letters when the maid is not interested in the written letter. It's like something that is from the side, like her work as a maid. Her main interest is this painting. Who can explain what is happening here?
I,
Yes,
I,
so
I would
yes,
say that she was looking at something that's covered and she can
yes.
immediately see because she can uncover it and look at what's in front of her. Um, that's what I would think, that she's looking forward into the painting and
And
she
why
can
do
uncover.
yes, yes, and why do you think people of the house they covered or they bothered so much? There is a string there. Yes, we can see that the green curtain is, how do you say, is moved, yes, on a rail from metal maybe. It's intentionally covered. Why is that so? Why would they do this? For what reason? Let's say the landlords, yes?
Would they be possibly covering it to maybe protect it from the sun or?
Yes, yeah. Yes, it might be what very expensive
Mhm.
painting. So it seems that they maybe want to protect it from the sun. It's only to the moment of viewing it. So she's in a way has a moment of leisure because her lady, let's say, or the lady of the house is occupied, very concentrated. So she has a moment. It seems that also the lady of the house sits next to this very expensive painting. They sit next to each other. I mean, this painting is located next to the lady, and not everyone has access to it. And the maid has this moment, and she can peek in this moment and have, in a way, like what is happening there, out there in the sea, in the moment of storm. They live on land. Maybe she never seen a sea before. We're not sure, though the painter is Dutch, and there is a chance that she saw the sea or a storm even. But she looks that she has an interest in it. And the dog, which one of the two the dog finds interesting, or not even the two? What is the interest of the dog? Where his nose, yes, is directed, his eyes. Yes, what's the dog interest is in?
He's looking up at the maid, or maybe
Yes,
he's also pointed toward her dress, um, or her dressing, but he's
yes,
also pointed toward the painting as well.
yes, yes. If we can see, if we can focus on her, is it the same shoe? Let's see if it's a different kind of shoe. Can you see? Now the cursor is at her foot. This is her left foot, and this is her shoe. Is it the same shoe that we saw before, or it's a bit different? Because I glitched from the picture. I moved a bit aside from the. Is it the same, or what would you say? What is your impression that the lady has a heel and the maid not? What is your impression? There is no right or wrong. This is an open conversation. So everything is accepted. Nobody knows anything. We're just trying to figure out what the painter wanted to tell us. So, yes, yes. So thank you, Abigail is writing. Yes, to protect the painting from the dust. Yes. And Yanis says it's a different pair. So the lady of the house might have had these high heel shoes. Yes, she's also have like something shining that decorates her shoe. And she also have this here like ornament element that she's probably a lady. because the way she's dressed, yes, and she has a fair here in front. The maid is interested in the painting, and the lady is interested in the letter. What would you say about those two things? Why the painter, from his perspective, chose this moment to show us? Because it takes a lot of time to paint such a painting, maybe 1 year, maybe sometimes more. What kind of saying is hiding here? Two ladies, different interests. This is an open question for everyone. Please feel free to share your perspective, or the painter perspective, the artist. Who is looking, who has access to the light, let's say, and who has access to the shadow? When you see the painting, who has access to the light? Who has access to the shadow?
The woman reading the letter has access to the light, and so that she knows what she's reading in her letter. The other woman has access, is gaining access, I guess, to the painting because she's the one standing by it.
Yes, there is a chance that the maid cannot even read. This is why she's holding the letter or the paper as like her bucket. So we don't know. Yes, it's not clear if the maid is capable of reading. It's not clear. So she finds it. There is a chance she might also. She also can read, but she don't find much interest in reading. But more for, she has, let's say, attraction for the visualization of the painting. So we see in a way here two opposite perspectives completely, and in a way, in very, let's say, the painter or the artist chose a very, very unique moment to show two opposites in the same frame by using different bodily postures, different colors, different relation to light and shadow, different relations to the written text and to a painting or visualized painting. Summary, what is your impression, Jill, from the painting?
That one is the one is in the sun. She already knows what's going on. She's reading her letter. The one who's facing the painting, that's looking behind the the curtain, is kind of um, revealing something new. She hasn't even read her letter yet, and so she at some point will have to sit down and maybe face the light in order to read her letter if she decides that's what she's gonna do. Um, yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. There's a beautiful carpet here, which is, I'm not sure that everyone can see. It seems that it's like hand woven carpet, maybe from let's say trees, or maybe from animal fur. You can see the hair, it's very tangible. Thank you so much for sharing your perspective with us, Jill. Rodrigo, Felipe, any questions that you would like to ask? Abigail, would you like to say something? Yanis? Yes. Yes, Felipe?
Hello, Eti. Hello,
Hello,
Jude.
hello. Good morning.
Good evening, Eti. It's a really beautiful painting. I was thinking that it's how impressive we can establish many meanings when we just look at with attention. Something that I can say for myself, I often would just look in a superficial way for a painting, you know. And when you just approach, you start to like open infinite meanings. Just something that came. It's that the lady close to the window, she's close to the light, and she's also sit in opposition the one that it is in her backs for us, and she's standing up, and she's kind of looking to reality, uh, not for the direct light, but for a representation of the reality, such a painting. So she is kind of in her back. She's not, let's say, seeing the the direct light, but a representation of it. And she's standing. In the other hand, the lady which is in touch with the light, she's makes me think about the Shabbat, the fact that we have to sit to be in touch with this. Uh, how can I say it? The concept of Shabbat, of sitting, and this is just what came at first to me.
Yes. Did you notice that you mentioned both that she has a pillow? In our times, yes, it was, it's funny. It's like a laptop. Yes, in a way, she is resting while reading. She is resting. Yes, yes. Abigail is asking, are the colors in the picture representing something? This is interesting question. What would you think? Yes, the colors are certainly representing something. This is for sure. The lady of the house, yes, she's in a way dressed with fair colors. Until today in England, in the wedding, they had a couple of years like a wedding, and when the Queen Elizabeth was still alive, I remember the instruction of the, let's say, nobility, or for the ladies that has to do with kings and princesses, the instruction is for the ladies to have not bold colors, muted colors. If they were, let's say, pink, but a very, very slight, yes, pink, like rose, pink rose, not bold colors. like the family from kings or nobility, they always wear very, very, how do you say, opposite to jungle colors. Yes, like tones, very muted tones of colors, not to stick out. Yes, this is the how do you say, recommendation. Whenever the ladies are dresses, they're dressing up. Yes, the queen and her, let's say, family members, and so not to stick out, not to take out, not to dress like a peacock, just to choose very, very mute colors, like light blue, fair light blue, and very, very delicate rose, and very, very buttery, not yellow, shouting yellow or yelling yellow, but more buttery. Yes. So we can see that the lady is dressed, even the pillow, we could say, is very toned down colors. Yes. While the maid, in a way, her dressing is like with, let's say, more pottery colors or land colors. Okay, her apron is a bit like turquoise or so. Yes, but this, of course, it has a meaning, of course, and rich ladies or noble ladies could afford wearing this fur. Usually it comes from animals. So they have to have enough money to pay for the hunter to buy the fur, and then they have to have an access to a tailor or a lady that can, how do you say, stitch clothes together. It costs money. Also, this kind of thread, yes, with golden ornaments inside, it's very, very expensive. So the painter, in a way, speaks his language is colors and postures, and he managed in a way to transfer, to, how do you say, to express the not the tensions, but like two-way streets here, in a way. The maid is casually standing, resting. Life in a way, there are two postures of resting here. The maid is resting from her job. She might have cleaned the whole house, so she is resting, casually standing, again cleaning, and so now I see something new. But the lady of the house is also resting, but in a very different way. She is resting seated and on a little stage. We saw this before. She is seated on a bit higher stage than the floor. So she is resting. She's holding a pillow. She is reading a letter to the light that comes from. They're both resting, but they have different kinds of rest. The maid is resting from hard labor, let's say, or labor in general, and happy to have a moment to catch her breath and to see something outside of this mansion or the house that she is in charge of cleaning or sorting. She's, in a way, resting from, how do you say, a physical work. But the lady of the house rests her mind. Yes? The maid, in a way, rests from the nefesh work. Like if someone had to scrub here the floor, yes, pastel colors, thank you, Felipe. It's a lot of physical work, or to dust the house, or to laundry. They used to go to the river to laundry. It's a lot of physical work. So the maid is resting just by standing, not moving, not to have to scrub, not to have to cook, not to have to go to the river to make laundry, to change the bed sheets. And so it's a very, very, today we have different lifestyles, completely different. Everything used to be made by hand. But the lady of the house rests her mind. This is completely different resting. Both of them are resting. And this is a brilliant painting. And this is what I wanted to, I don't know, I felt to share with you. I was looking for a painting today because I wrote a poem this morning or late evening yesterday about the months of Shvat in Hebrew. So I was looking for a painting to send it as a blog post in Hebrew this morning. And I said, but we have a meeting this afternoon, so I would like to share. If I would be able to translate the poem from Hebrew to English, I will share it with you because it just happened. So, but this is amazing. And the more we sit and concentrate in this painting, it's, I don't know, just very touching to the heart. In a way, people who lived, let's say, 300 years or more before our times, those who are participating in this painting and the artist himself, they managed to communicate to us 350 years later or 400 years later, and they managed to express the sentiment and what is happening here. And both are resting. Both are resting. Yes. It's from the golden age. The Dutch painters are well known. And I cannot expand now about art and Dutch painting, but this is the golden era of the Dutch painting. This is a beautiful time. And to you all, I would like to wish a very, very good and fruitful month and happy month with a lot of blessings. And if you have questions, you're more than welcome to ask, to communicate, to write, to send pictures. And Jill, good luck with the amazing project of the book. And I wish you many more returns. Yes, that you will be able to read many more books for us. This is just amazing what you do. And you have our full support. And Felipe and Fernando, thank you for the new song, All That Jazz. Thank you so much. And this is a new song for a new month. And really, really, I feel a great opening from this month. I hope that you feel this too. And with this sentiment of grand opening, wishing you a very good month, beautiful year, and see you soon as possible. Thank you so much for being with us. Thank you for opening your mics. Thank you for sharing your sentiments from the painting. Thank you for writing comments, asking questions, and being here with us. Love you all and see you soon. Toda and shalom.